To talk about the Detroit Lions practice squad in today's video. They're not 16 people up. I've been waiting for them to get to 16, and I said, screw it, right now they're at 14. So we're going to talk about the players and what they can bring to this football team, go through each one, and give you my thoughts, because there's some interesting players out there for sure. With that said, let's go. Hey, we're almost to 37,000 subscribers, and right now I'm recording, we're less than 20 away. So if you're one of those guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get to that big number of 37,000 subscribers. So let's go ahead and talk about the Detroit Lions practice squad. There's usually 16. Right now there's 14, and I've been waiting for it, and I really don't got much time to wait. So we're going to go over the 14 players. So maybe by the time you watch this video, there will be 16. With that said, I'm sorry, I got no more time to wait on it, so I'm making it right now. So let's go over some of these players here. Now, interestingly enough, David Blough was just picked up, and it's more of an inside joke more than anything. Let's keep it 100 here. You know, is it really a big deal that the Detroit Lions signed him to a practice squad? No, not in my opinion. I think it is perfectly fine. He does know the system, right? And he's better than some other quarterbacks out there, but it's just funny because we seem to keep the same players over and over again, and which it's funny, right? It's absolutely funny. So to me, I had a good laugh on it for sure. You look at Zonovan Knight, and that's what a lot of people are talking about here. I had an opportunity to watch his film after we signed him, so I didn't want to make a video until we did that. And what I really liked from what I saw from him is the fact that he is fast, even though he doesn't got the best straight line speed. But if you watch it on the film, he does. He really does, and he's a guy that can make the big play. He can come out there and be somewhat of a lesser Jahmyr Gibbs, like a fast, speedy guy that can take it out the backfield as well as take it as a wideout almost. So that's what he brings to this football team. Who is your favorite practice squad player? Name the player in the comments below. It's going to be a pinned comment for this video. Continuing on with what I saw from Zonovan Knight also, and what I really liked, he's extremely patient by following his blockers. If you watch, just go on YouTube, put his name in the search engine, and watch how he follows his blockers. Man, he's good with that, and that's something that we need at a running back. We do. So I really like that, and he's got great cuts. I'm not saying this guy is going to be some amazing player or anything like that, but he's a good quality player, and I like seeing that. So let's continue on here with, obviously, Dylan Drummond. A lot of people loved Dylan Drummond when he was with the Lions, and they wanted to make him the 53-man roster, but we fully expected him that he would be back. And guess what, folks? He is back. Again, not every player is going to get claimed by teams, and he was one of those players that did not get claimed. He can develop on the practice squad, and practice squad is an extension of the regular, 53-man roster. So, okay, they're not getting paid as much, but make no mistake about it. These guys can contribute. We've seen it multiple times since they've really taken more of a notice of the practice squad the last couple of years. So they do use these players, so it is important. So I'm really happy that Dylan Drummond's on there. He can develop into a quality player for the Lions. And one of my favorites here is Maurice Alexander. I didn't think he was making the 53 at all because his ability to catch the football is lacking, but this guy is a kick returner. So if there's any sort of injury to any of the players whom we're going to utilize in the kick return game, we know we got somebody in the practice squad throughout this NFL season that can come in and get it done if we need a big play. If there's an injury, he can get it done. We totally believe that for that. And I really, really like it. Of course, we go with Michael Badgley. We're going to skip a little bit of names here. And that's more the idea that we've had problems with the kicking game. And that's been a issue for the Lions, right? Like, is the Detroit Lions going to have issues with kicker? So Michael Badgley is somebody who the Detroit Lions believe that, if there's problems with Patterson, can come in and get it done. Another guy you may not know of, that's Darius Fountain here, whom the Lions picked off another team with the Chicago Bears. He's a bigger guy. He's 6'2". He's an individual that can be utilized in the red zone, so they can develop a bigger receiver, 27 years old. He's been on the Indianapolis Colts as well. Kansas City Chiefs practice squad, so you get a little bit of information there. Kayode Awasika, I destroyed his name, former Lions guard. I have no problem with him being on the backup there. Max Percher. He does not count against the 16-man roster because he is a international player. So they can add a couple more players or one more player to the practice squad with him. They can develop him as a lineman. Connor Galvin, I don't really got a whole lot to say with him here. Raymond Johnson, the third pass rusher. We got so good depth at the pass rushing position that it makes sense that they only got one right now, one edge on the practice squad, because you got 7 currently that are getting it done. And you got Chris Smith, developmental player. Trevor Nowasika, again, the Lions linebacker who we've seen in preseason. We thought we saw a couple good things, but he definitely needs development. He's not somebody that I want playing right now, so the practice squad makes a lot of sense for him. We'll see how that goes. Chase Lucas, practice squad, really good. Happy to see him on the practice squad. And, he's still a part of this football team, and there's going to be injuries. He's a player you can bring up if we have a cornerback injury, and I think a lot of us are fine with that. We believe that he can do a good job, and that's something that's important for our Detroit Lions. It really is. I got a question for you folks. Are you happy that Dylan Drummond is back with the Detroit Lions? Y for yes and N for no. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's go ahead and continue on talking about Chase Lucas. So he didn't make the 53, and there's questions, well, Will Harris did, and he didn't. At the end of the day, Chase is pretty much on this football team. So he'll still have time to develop, and I'm sure he'll be activated at some point if there's injuries. Brandon Joseph, who was playing well at the safety position as well, he was considered, could this guy actually make the team? There was questions. Could he make the team? It was close. He didn't. He's on the practice squad. Very nice to see Brandon Joseph there. And just like our edge room, our safety position is extremely deep. Extremely deep. So it's good to have him on this football team to have the extra depth for the Lions. It is. And again, we're not at the full 16 right now. So what are players whom the Detroit Lions could bring on? Well, I fully expect players are going to get moved up and down due to the cuts, right? We're worried about some injuries when it comes to Malfanu and Akwara. Could they be placed on IR maybe after Monday or something like that? So we got to wait for that. So maybe Craig Reynolds gets put back on the team or on the practice squad. I think you can only have 6 veterans on the practice squad at a time. There's definitely players out there that the Lions are going to be getting, and that's why this process is taking so freaking long right now, is they're doing their due diligence, and that's fantastic. You want Brad Holmes to do his due diligence. You want him out there scouring. There's players that who we released is still not on the practice squad. Maybe they get put on there, like a Brady Breeze, the safety out there. Who they do, like Obinna Eze, the second-year player Could he eventually get thrown on the practice squad? That's a possibility. Trinity Benson, whom we've talked about, in which I don't know if they'll bring him back. He's been on this roster for quite a bit, and he still really hasn't developed in anything. Do you think he's going to develop any more? Probably not. Probably not. So again, I'm going to ask the same question. Are you happy Dylan Drummond is back? Why for yes and for no? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. These players are something, and we released Starling Thomas, right? And that was one of the players I think a lot of us thought would get picked up, and he did. He got picked up by the Arizona Cardinals. And that sucks that he's not on our practice squad. It does. But if you look at the depth at cornerback, there is just it's so good, even the practice squad with Chase Lucas. So I'm not concerned. It stinks that he couldn't make it on there, but it is what it is. Germain Ifedi signed with the Bills. You had Christian Covington sign with the Chargers, and Ryan Swoboda signed with the Jets. So you're seeing other teams pick up players that the Lions released because they're good players, and we fully expected this. We're going to have players whom didn't make the practice squad or didn't make the team that we liked, that we wanted to make the team, not make it. And that's the net result of having a really good roster, really good depth. Was there question marks in some players? Absolutely, and we're all going to be like that. But at the end of the day, they did a damn good job, in my opinion. We're going to be streaming the game on here. Lions, Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be massive. I'll be at Soaring Eagle Casino, but guess what? You're going to hear the play-by-play. You're going to hear the audio of the game, and you're going to hear me do my thing. It's just not going to be with a green screen. It's going to be a little bit of box me into the casino. So get ready for that. That's why you want to subscribe to the channel. It's 1 week away. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to see the amount of people that's going to be on this bad boy. With that said, folks, adios.